I like Yuji's ideas. I mean, it really resonated with me well, according to my construction, in the sense that I will sing my song, but privately. If the social structure tells you can't sing that song, you will be punished, I will not sing because I have no interest in it. I'm not making a social reformist act, or I'm not bringing about a revolution that will change the social structure. Privately among my friends, I place my point of view, and if that is also illegal, I won't do that. You know, Trump can say, no, you can't utter this word. I will not. I have no problem. You know, they will say. Or anywhere. I tell the same thing. I went to Bangladesh and told, you must be ashamed, those mullahs, you know. They know nothing. The world has moved so far. They know nothing. And they are your prime mover of your life. Can you imagine what kind of dark age you guys are? He said, if they hear you, they can knock you. I said, I'm telling you, think about it.
A lot of
and it is true for the same Indian scenario, that they are trying to now establish this the Hindu religious thing. It's the same thing. There is no difference. All these religions have come from the same source of problem, human problem.
A lot of people, educated people, they know, but they stay quiet because they have to exist and live there.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, but the thing is that often it is not true. The education and knowledge has to go beyond certain value that begins to filter down to your own living. These ideas, the fear, they are not logical, and you don't take the rational knowledge to there. So many people, they are educated, but what suggestion they will give you, will be surprised to hear that it has all kinds of religious dogmatism inbuilt in it.
Right, yeah.
So that means it didn't work.
It didn't infiltrate beyond.
Yes, it didn't infiltrate beyond a value where it reached to your core and you begin to function that way. When you look at another individual, you don't see from the external stamp that he has either a Hindu or a Muslim or rituals, or you don't. It's not a matter of consideration at all. Although he may not know that, because he's conditioned, his responses are very different. But to you, it shouldn't be. That's the whole thing. If it is also the same way with you, it's the same throwing stones at each other. It's back to square one, same way.
I knew this people in ISKCON, people in New Jersey. One was a doctor, one was IT. But they will give you perfect logic and explanation why Krishna should be worshipped the way, why you should treat him like a god, why he lives in Vaikuntha.
Yeah, so the same way, there is called Christian Science. They still teach the Genesis.
Christian Science.
There is Christian Science.
There's a magazine called Christian Science Monitor.
It's huge. It's a newspaper, big one.
Yes.
So it's a national newspaper.
They have brought religion to a science.
Yeah, so that's what. So if your aim is to establish an idea as a model of truth, then you use all your logic towards that. So that is conditioned, right? That's not a real inquiry at all. You already want to prove that this and this is this. Now what you do with your intellect, you always try to negate everything that is not going towards that. You try to only assimilate that which comes towards it. That is what they do. If you look at the Hindu literature, about the Vedic literature, you will see a category of writing which is already there, which was established in this way, that if you are trying to use your intellect to see whether the Vedas were the knowledge that came from God or not, that means your intellect is going to astray.
Oh,
It's already assumed.
okay.
Can't question it.
If you don't, so they call it Vipat Kale Viparit Buddhi.
Oh, I
Yeah.
We say that all the time in Tamil.
Yeah.
It's like the same
see.
thing.
I know.
So that means your intellect.
Vinashakale Viparita Buddhi.
So that means your intellect is going in a
Against.
way that has been established by your progeny as the right thing. See, already. So what are you going to do? Already you are afraid to use your rationality and logic. You are already afraid,
Yeah, they already.
right? You are already polarized yourself. And of course you are a very intelligent person. Intelligent person means you know how to process your information. It's like a court. A brilliant lawyer knows that he is defending a thug, but he proves it nonetheless.
Yeah,
See, one can
one can.
establish, because there is always a gap, a flaw. There is no such thing as perfect logic. Then it will become science.
Correct.
You do experiment, you will get every time the same result. It's not here. The matter of faith is very different. You try to bring evidences,
Right.
which is always easy to find evidence. So the best thing that one can produce here, if you have an argument of whether God is there or not there, if you bring all the brains from all over the planet, you will come close to 50-50. Because they will give evidences. This guy was riddled with cancer, went to a temple.
That's
Do you
true.
think that this is not the act of God? Well, what can you say? Until the medical technology proves it beyond all reasonable doubt that that was the capacity of the physical body itself that did the job. Until then, you can you call it miracle, mystery, or whatever. This will not go, because the machine that we are using, the thinking machine, one of the attributes is like that. If you believe, you reduce strain, you reduce conflict. So the body gives you respite, it makes you feel good, and in that there is positive effect, means body can fight. So belief has some
Benefit.
very specific benefit.
You said
Physically.
that belief structure
Yeah.
is necessary for human
So it's
mind.
not going to go.
I'm going to go.
Would you rather sleep and do a few japas so that you can sleep, or would you not do japa and not sleep all night?
Sure. So
Based on a mental makeup, you have to accept certain beliefs
I
and move
put a
on.
lot of my reflective thinking about something that I see so violently true as far as I'm concerned. Violent means it's like putting finger in the fire and getting burnt. But it is exactly not the same thing when I'm asking somebody else to put his finger in the fire. It doesn't work that way. It's not science. It's a very, my idea of creating a causal connection that gives rise to certain things, which has some beneficial thing as far as I'm concerned, need not necessarily be true to other person. It's very complicated. And this is the reason that we will have this kind of diversity. And looking for an answer which will work for everybody, I think is a pipe dream for you.
Pipe dream.
It's never going to go that way. So what do? I give up. I know it's limitation, And that's what happens. Your father or your mother in those days, now it is not happening, will force you to marry somebody. Many places it worked. Many places the whole life become misery. But the thing is that you really never talk to either of these people as a close friend and try to find out whether they are really happy or they are accepted the misery.
Most of the time accepted the misery.
Oh my God, in my family I have not seen one happy marriage.
So
Not
all
right.
that thing that is been highlighted, that we had very happy marriage, we see each other and this thing, these are like fake, it's a facade. It's like, as you used to call it, it's a status quo, unwillingness to change.
To keep the show going. The show must go on.
Something completely changed the equation of my life, the way I felt. I was pretty miserable.
Something changed the equation of your life.
Yeah.
What, like what?
No, like how I begin to feel differently. I was pretty miserable means I had very poor health.
Oh yeah.
Anybody who has poor health has a lot of reflective power will be a miserable individual. It has to be, because the natural question, why am I sick?
So that asthma, when did it
It's not
began
just
under
asthma,
control?
I was very sensitive to everything. So many times.
So after you met UG, things
Yeah.
started rolling.
Complete radical transformation as far as my mind is concerned. The other thing, I cannot prove anything. I mean, happiness has a reason, right? Like suddenly you get a lottery, or suddenly you become famous. Suddenly you are running after something, you got that. So those are the standard of happiness, right? That is how people are. We are always happy because we got something. We are
social
approved by
context?
something.
In
There is no other context. The context is only social. There is no such context in the mind which is outside of society. Everything that you know is created out of this social structure.
But then how come you were always happy?
No, that's what I'm trying to say. That was not.
Right now you...
No, I'm not always happy. I'm still. But in general, that's what I'm telling you. Something is knocked out so deeply from within that I don't know the reason of my happiness. It must have been some kind of emancipatory act or some such thing. Like so many. What is the social pressure? Think
You need
about
money.
it.
You have to
Even
keep up
if you
with the
have
Jones.
reasonable money,
Keep up with the Joneses.
It's your image.
No.
A big house, expensive
If
cars.
you think about it through, it comes through the information that is being processed into your head. What you should be, how you should find yourself, what should be your friend, how you should be rewarded, how you should be recognized, all this. These are the, out of this there is all the time going on. And whenever it is something that matches your expectation or exceeds the expectation, you are happy. If it is not, you are unhappy. It's always in terms of what you perceive yourself as somebody who got something, or you are nothing but a relationship. Like you, niche, is always doesn't exist by itself. Niche is related to somebody. Niche has certain image about himself in office. All these factors are involved in making you happy or unhappy. You don't exist by yourself. There is nobody. The fact that you can't even finish a sentence without you cannot, if you say just I and don't finish this sentence, you are in trouble. It's always connected. It's spontaneously finding the connection.
I'm always defined by
whatever. So the happiness is related to all these things.
If somebody asks you to compare what your mental status was before the transformation and after to be able to do
I
it,
don't know transformation. I don't know any
so
transformation.
something got knocked out, you said. Okay,
No,
let's even go there.
No,
Just-
no. Knocked out means is it one day to next day? No.
No, it's a process or over the time.
I don't even call it a process. I
But
don't.
would you know the difference? Would you be able to tell about the
I
difference?
found myself in a different space gradually. That those things are not creating a proposition in me. That I don't compare myself with anybody anymore. I don't find that, okay, maybe I'm a bad father, I'm a good father, or I'm a okay husband. No. So none of those things were there. What I should do when I'm in a working situation, I have relationship with, there is a boss, there is a person who is working below me. What should be my relationship and things like that? All these things just gone. It's gone. So looks like those propositions become kind of meaningless inside me. It's just not there.
But you didn't care about these things even before. Because the way you are built.
I did not care,
You care about so
but
much.
I also cared about the social justice where I am working. If somebody is not appropriately treating me, I would notice such things, and I was perfectly maintaining the protocol, addressing right people right way. All these things were all there. But one thing is for sure, that I was always miserable. There was a deep sense of dissatisfaction was running through my system in the middle of all these so-called accolades and doing things and learning things and explaining things. When I'm arguing with somebody, I have a greater sense of logic. Some people have even better. But all the satisfaction, behind all these things, there's a deep dissatisfaction. That's why my life was running on regular flow that everybody sees, but underneath of it all, there is a tremendous amount of dissatisfaction. That found a completely different kind of thing ever since I met you, Ji. That is for sure. That all my tremendous spiritual experiences, it gave me so much of curiosity and wonder and all these things, but it was ephemeral. It's after some time, I'm back to my misery.
Right.
It's like seeing a very inspiring movie. After 3 days, it's gone. You're back to your, yeah?
Because you say about all these experiences, I will only talk about myself. I get this feeling, is it necessary for me to do all that in order for me to even have a possibility of being in that kind of a position where the misery is gone, or where my transformation can take place, or something can happen?
Have I said transformation?
Whatever mental stopping.
I
of
found
the
myself in a
thoughts.
different state.
Okay, that part,
I don't
is
know
it
about any
necessary that
transformation.
you have to do the meditations, you have to go through all that? And I mean, that's a question that I ask because I didn't do any of that.
For want of a better occupation, maybe.
Otherwise, no. Okay.
If you can spend your time by earning money, thinking about money, that's the best.
Good enough answer. All right, continue, please. I didn't mean to derail you.
No. I am very serious.
I am very serious myself.
So I really... One thing happened, I must be honest. Yes. In Ramachandra Mission, this is also I talked about it. There was in general, they were also like principles of Kabir, like Guru is everything. Without his Guru Kripa. Now, first of all, without his Kripa, you can't even get a good Guru. You know, without Kripa, you cannot get a Sadguru. That's according to Kabir. You know, so that kind, this similar kind of practical aspect of the mission was that you have to have real take on your master, real life. So how do you see all these things? You see all the people are just like desperate about the teacher, you know, just totally desperate. Like pani bina machli, I say, you know. And that's what they're enacting. I couldn't find that kind of thing in me, you know. I felt very artificial.
Jal
bina machli. You know, tarasते रहता है. So, and I couldn't find myself in that way. So, but nonetheless, like there is a general attitude of running after the master is being always enacting, you know. To some extent, you know, you try to give a shot, you know. Well, maybe in India, love comes after marriage, you know. In India, you know, we are from India, you know. First you marry, then the love comes in. होता भी यही से कितना आपको दादा चाचा के यही तो किया नहीं.
मूवीज में वैसे होता है ना. They'll say how Indian dish is better because the love comes after marriage.
सच के नहीं.
Only advantage is that the kids don't come before marriage. That's the
So anyway, so trying to enact, but so that thing fizzled out, you know. I just couldn't find that resonance, you know. And there was a lot of they had these ideas of layers and progress and points and advanced devotees, all these categories, you know. I was very disturbed by that, you know, because really there is no category. For example, if you go to give an exam in any subject, or how much money you have, or whether you have good health or not, there is a category you can judge yourself, no? But here, for all my effort, I couldn't figure it out whether I'm making any progress or not. Whether I'm the same Guha who started meditation after 3 years or not. It should be somewhere, you know. They have all these mandalas, you know. You are in here, you are in here, you are in here, you are in here, you are here. In there are many, many layers. Who knows that? Only the teacher.
You don't see it yet, you don't have those eyes yet.
No. तो क्या करे? Helpless, no? But at the same time, you have to have trust on your teacher, master. It's such
The chicken and egg problem.
this is a very I became, and I have, on the top of that, I have this fantastic experiences. It's mind-boggling. For the first time in my life, I experienced something that was so mysterious to me. Like I really visited places like I am seeing movie, my waking state.
That stuff that you've never seen before, or this something you've seen before?
No, I never seen before.
The images are completely brand new to you.
Absolutely brand new, but elements are all known. If I see a face, I know it's a man. Although I don't recognize that face.
But was it within the Hindu mythological or religion?
Total Hindu
Right,
religion.
within.
All
It wasn't
Hindu.
like you went to see Christ or Christ appeared to you?
No, but I did see a lot of Greek culture. You know, I did see
Mythological.
the Roman guys sitting there and discussing and all. Maybe I had some kind of inclination towards Socrates and all when I was studying. Maybe that image, that is why I'm telling, but I did go and see those things. And for the first time I saw, and I was so, I couldn't breathe. I really couldn't breathe. It was that kind of astonishing for me, you know, like literally somebody snatched me, the experiencing entity, out of my body and showed me the landscape. It was so, and I'm sitting here because I remember this thing, how it happened is, I was doing very serious practice. I would meditate for many, many hours, not at a stretch, because the technique was you never meditate more than 1 hour at a time. Okay, why is this technique? I don't know, but that was the technique of the so. And I started meditating at 2 o'clock night, you know, every, and even I have it from there. So I meditated for almost an hour, and we had this, that after meditating you jot down during the meditation whatever you could recollect, anything unusual that you recollect, you know, jot it down. I think I destroyed those. I had like this many diaries filled with my experiences. I don't want to keep them. It's very, it creates a myth. So that day I started writing, and my hand started shaking. I couldn't write, and I froze. And then I felt that somebody totally snatched me out of my body. For the first time. Can you imagine this in your waking moment? And I began to believe in the power of meditation, because this happened after 3 months of rigorous practice.
So brain can play all kinds of tricks.
Yeah, but you don't know. That's what I'm telling. It can play tricks, and out of playing tricks it can cure you. You don't know. Your body is having violent fever and these things. Maybe the immune system is fighting something from within and finishing it off. You don't know.
Were you discussing it with them, or?
Yes, the thing is that when you try to tell your experiences, that becomes their indicator of your spiritual progress. So according to them, I was just flying.
So people have similar experiences when they go through this process?
I don't know that. I never discussed that. What I came to know is that my system is opening up and all kinds of things. They have this, every system has their way of doing things. But then I begin to realize, suppose if I don't tell anything, then they will think that I am not progressing.
You're like doing all kinds of
Hey, I have to find out, no?
Right.
Whether
And that
devil's playing devil's advocate on everything, right?
yeah, I have to figure it out. I mean, like,
You're not just
what if?
satisfied with the
What if?
experiences.
Suppose if I want to find myself satisfied in their eyes, I will tell false experiences, just so that I get recognition that I am progressing very.
They wouldn't
It's like
know.
cheating in the exam.
But they wouldn't know.
That is what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
You understand? If I don't
On
tell,
what basis are they saying you're flying?
exactly, if I don't say anything, can you close your eyes and tell me whether my condition is very good or not? Because that's the only test that, because it's impossible for me, right? I don't know.
That's a clever way of finding things.
No, because if I have money in my bank, I will know, no? Because what attracted me to Yuji's writing is that there is no way you will not know. If it hits you, no, it is almost like, that's why sometimes Sri Ramakrishna's examples are very, it's like a young boy is telling his mother, if I feel like going to toilet, will you please wake me up? You don't have to, beta. You will wake up, you will jump out of the bed and run to bathroom. So she said, if you touch fire, you don't have to go to psychiatrist and ask anybody. Your finger will burn. It's self-evident, you see. But here, it is not. I don't know anything. I am just telling something and they're assessing my psychological state.
Or spiritual state.
So did you tell them false things?
No, I never. What for? I even suppressed many things. What's the
To
point?
test the guru.
What's the point? It's just because the main thing was that I was not resonating with that guy. It's like I wrote in a book, later when I begin to get attracted towards Yuji's writing so violently, then I said, my life is like this, a guy, because I started meditating only at the age of 35, People are supposed to meditate from the age of 14. At that time I was interested in
No, but
girls.
see, you were meditating when you were in that school. So did you have experiences back then as a kid?
Yeah.
You had.
I had experience one day I ran out of my puja room. I thought I'm going to die and vanish into the cosmos. I got so afraid.
So you were having all these great experiences with Ramchandra,
Mission.
with mission. So did Yuji's book come into picture and then you broke off with Ramchandra, or you were already disillusioned with Ramchandra?
No. I already came to a point where I became completely miserable.
No, but you had all those experiences as a certificate that you're progressing.
But not to myself. My misery was increasing.
So in a day-to-day life, your misery was increasing.
No, because I don't understand anything.
So you stopped giving value to those experiences.
Because that is not doing anything to me.
But the experiences were coming. They were coming.
They came and gone. I am back to misery.
Mm.
You know, nothing, it was not doing anything to me.
They're not adding any value to your practical life, everyday life.
I was the same person. I was just concerned with similar things. Of course, if I tell these things, somebody will tell, as Yuji told me, that perhaps you are ready now. When I came to him, first day itself, very first day, you know. But I don't want to discuss these things, and it gives a wrong kind of impression. But the thing is that what I was trying to tell is that I really felt something. I started liking him very deeply, which didn't happen with the guru of the mission. But here it was like spontaneously I started liking him very much. So he was telling, it's like old habit die hard, because I was running after that guru, so I'm running after him. I really don't like him that much. Old habit die hard. He was teasing me all the time because I was running after that guru. I was not really running after, but that was the general tendency in the mission, you know. That everybody, I told everybody is going ga 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 ga. It's like jal bina machli.
The mission is still going strong?
And then my friend is now the president of the mission.
Yeah, but is it still powerful?
The guy who was in Staten Island, I used to go and meditate
Your
with.
preceptor.
Yeah, one of my preceptors.
So you still had this deep desire to know.
Yes.
That's why you did so many years of JK, and then you put up with Ramchandra mission and
It's
all
a lot.
that.
I mean, this thing is, when I do something, I do with my 200%.
So what was the question you're looking to get answered? You say you wanted to get enlightened. That was
No,
point blank.
that time there was no. There was like the principle of Ramachandra mission was you begin to acquire some richness in life, true richness. Like you become much more. Basically, they are telling that you discover your own God within yourself. Period.
So your main point was to resolve your misery.
My-
You want to transform yourself. Is that what you are going after?
At that point, it was not even like that.
Were there any specific goals you had?
It's like if you really understand that your cigarette smoking is injurious to health, and health is the most important thing in your life, you probably cannot smoke another cigarette. Its awareness is like that, you know, like that deep, you know. If you really know that this deadly cobra, if it strikes because of your callous behavior, you will die, you immediately avoid it. Because that's the most, the construction of your entire system is such that you should be very careful about it, you know. So like that, you know, that was the main. So was always trying to figure it out, my desire, my aspirations, what I want to be. They are part of the false image about ourselves that has been imposed on us. Do I see that clearly? If I just say yes, 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 it doesn't matter. It doesn't have any action. That's the whole point was. And so he gave always, if you listen to his lecture, he talks about the seriousness, that we are not serious. We are just passing time by telling that this is bad, this is bad. We are not really serious about, not to anybody, to ourselves. Really serious. And if you are serious, the right actions will begin to take place and you will find yourself in the right place if you're really serious. That was the one of, so I read those things so much that there was, the problem was always serious to me. I was extremely serious about this thing. So whatever they prescribed, I did it, everything very seriously. And always, And with J. Krishnamurti, I did everything, nothing really. I hit the
rock bottom.
The wall, like, and so much so that maybe my brain itself conjured up the idea of hearing it from himself that he can't help me anymore. That's my explanation. However, when in the later days, I read I shouldn't believe anything, but according to the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it is written, the instruction can come through dream. It's called, and if I look at this way the human brain solves any problem, it can come through dream. The greatest discovery of humans, the civilization, even in science, happened in dream. What is dream? Ultimately, you always don't solve. You ponder over a problem, and suddenly you say, click, I got it. Not all the problems immediately come. So it's a process. So dream is also one of this process that throws out certain solutions. So I don't know how it is. The mystery will never be solved, but it's written Sapna Jnana Avalambanava. That, like different ways of meditation, you can even take cues from the Sapna. That I came to know much later when I was reading Patanjali Yoga Sutra. And Yuji told me, when I told him about the whole my dream about J. Krishnamurti, and Yuji was telling, yes, your dreams are more instructive. That's the exact sentence. Your dreams are more instructive than the great spiritual experiences of the so-called spiritual leaders. So-called. More instructive. And of course I knew, because J. Krishnamurti expressed his inability to help me. So he was very happy about that. And within few days, he did appear into my scene of knowledge. The book, first time, immediately followed by the dream. Within few days, I picked up a book where I saw Yuji Krishnamurti and read the whole chapter. That is some of the most mysterious happenings, At that time, I didn't have any idea that after 4 years, this guy is going to be the sine qua non of my entire conscious world. He became everything. And not just he became everything, he completely smashed everything else. I don't give a shit about anything. Not even him, but during that period, his living energy was smashing everything out, and he was still a living energy. So that only thing was standing there, nothing else. Everything else was just nothing. It's like you finally found yourself in front of a volcano, until then you were only seeing movies of volcano, which had no heat, no power, no living energy. So, after that, will you be ever concerned about the picture of volcano? It just has no meaning anymore. They're all stories. And they lost complete significance from my life from then on. Anything, it is like, no matter how much you imagine about the vivid sun, you don't touch your retina. But if you look at the sun, it will burn you. It's that kind of living versus the imagery, which has no power, literal power in that sense. So they have no meaning, all these images and all, including J. Krishna Yuji's picture. For me, it has no meaning, honestly. When I see it, reminds me of certain things, the body's memory, It's like my mother's smell, I would never get it anymore. But when I see my mother's picture, I do remember her. Everything comes back in my memory. But does that have that thing? It doesn't have it. It's my daughters are more important now than my mother, because they're living. So when I tell my friends that you guys are more important than Yuji, I'm not joking. Because there is no sentimental attachment in it. And gradually you begin to realize how he was easily discarding all this past and images. That's the nature of the life and the living contact. So you see, I never searched anything in that way.
But you are still looking to resolve conflict.
Yeah, like that's the nature of everything. That is the nature. Suppose if there is a pain in your body's entire demand would be how to free itself from those pain. Aren't we always trying to free ourselves from those conflict which is eating away our energy and normal functioning? It has to be that way, no? It's its nature. The organization itself has a very primary movement which is causing it to, the health itself is its own most fundamental property. It addresses its own integrated health. It's the rule of the everything.